Welcome back to Unlocking Inner Peace. I'm your companion. In the past few episodes, we've explored quite a few interesting aspects on the journey to find inner peace, from identifying the low notes, understanding their causes, to discovering the 8 golden keys, and most recently, the art of living less is enough in episode 5. Today, I want to invite you to contemplate a very fundamental law, an obvious truth that sometimes we inadvertently forget or even try to resist. That is the truth that everything is always changing. Sounds simple, doesn't it? Well, everyone knows things change. But truly understanding, accepting, and learning to dance with this change is an incredibly important key for us to live a lighter life, reduce unnecessary suffering, and find peace even amidst the constant fluctuations of life. From the smallest things around us, like a tender green leaf that then turns yellow and falls, a passing breeze that then vanishes, to larger things and events like the flow of a river, the ups and downs of a human life, or even the transformation of this entire universe. All are within a magical cycle of birth, existence, change, and then destruction. In today's podcast episode, we will look deeper into this cycle, explore its characteristics, and most importantly, find out what practical meanings and benefits understanding the truth about everything is always changing can bring to our lives. Now, let's begin this journey of discovery together. Part 1. The Ceaseless Dance, Recognizing Change in Every Nook and Cranny of Life. First, let's look back and recognize the presence of this ceaseless dance in every nook and cranny of life. Change seeps into every moment, everything, whether we notice it or not. Change happens continuously, without a moment's pause. There is nothing in this world that is fixed, that stays in one place forever. Everything is always in a state of constant movement, constant transformation, even if our naked eyes don't always immediately perceive it. Our bodies. Have you noticed, even as you sit quietly listening to this podcast, your body is still changing? Your breath flows in and out continuously. Your heart is still beating. Blood is still circulating. Old cells in your body are dying and new cells are being born. Your hair grows a little each day, so do your fingernails. From when you were a tiny newborn baby, then growing into a teenager, an adult, and then gradually aging. That's an entire process of unceasing change. Example, look back at photos of yourself from 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years ago. You'll see how much you've changed, from your appearance, facial features, to even your eyes. That is clear evidence of the constant movement of the body. Our emotions and thoughts, they change even faster than our bodies. You might wake up in the morning feeling happy and excited, but by noon, just because of an unpleasant event at work, your mood can plummet. A thought just pops into your head, and immediately another thought replaces it. Our emotions and thoughts are like clouds in the sky, sometimes gathering, sometimes dispersing, sometimes clear blue, sometimes gloomy, never standing still. Example, you are very excited about a travel plan, but suddenly, you hear that the weather there is not good, or a friend cannot go with you. A feeling of disappointment, of letdown can hit you immediately, replacing the initial excitement. The natural world around us, the 4 seasons, spring, summer, autumn, winter, always rotate. A tiny seed sprouts into a young plant, then grows into a large tree, flowers, bears fruit, and then ages, withers. A river never holds the same water because water is always flowing. The sun rises and then sets. The moon waxes and then wanes. Example, observe a flower in your garden. From when it was a tiny bud, then blooming brilliantly puyuchi, showing off its colors and fragrance, until its petals gradually wither and fall. That is an entire cycle of change, magical yet very natural. Society and human life. Technology changes mat, dizzily. New inventions are born every day. Cities develop, new roads are built. Cultural and entertainment trends come and go. Our relationships also constantly transform. Friends can be close then distant. Love can be passionate then fade. Colleagues can cooperate, then change jobs. Example, try to remember, 10 to 15 years ago, we mainly communicated via landline phones and SMS messages. But now, social media, online messaging apps have completely changed the way we connect. That is an immense change in a not-so-long period. No fixed, eternal essence exists independently. When we say everything is always changing, it also means that nothing has a separate self, a fixed, unchanging essence that exists forever independently. All things, phenomena, including ourselves, are actually just a temporary aggregation of many different elements, and this aggregation is always transforming, mutually dependent. Ourselves, as we discussed in episodes 2 and 4, we are not a single, immutable entity. We are a combination of this body, which is always changing, feelings that come and go, perceptions and thoughts that constantly arise and disappear, habits and intentions that are always in motion, and even the stream of consciousness is constantly flowing. There is no fixed master sitting inside controlling everything. The self we usually think of is actually just a concept, an idea formed from the interaction of these ever-changing elements. Example, when you say, "I am sad," that sadness is not you, not your fixed essence. It is just a temporary emotion that is present. A moment later, that sadness may pass, giving way to another emotion. So are you that sadness? Clearly not. All other objects are the same. A table is made of wood, screws, paint. If we separate all those elements, does the table still exist? Or is table just a name for a temporary combination of those elements? And over time, the wood can rot, the paint can fade, the screws can loosen. That table is also changing. Example, a car is assembled from thousands of different parts. Over time, those parts will wear out, break down, and need replacement. The car you buy today, after 5 years of use, though still that car, has actually undergone many internal changes. Change is a natural law, neither good nor bad. It's important to emphasize that change is not a punishment, something negative that we should fear or try to resist. It is simply the natural operating law of the universe, of all things. It happens objectively, independent of our subjective desires. A flower blooming and then wilting is natural. A child growing up and then aging is also natural. The weather changing, society transforming, that is also natural. We often tend to label change. If the change brings something we like, we call it good. If it brings something we don't like, we call it bad. But change itself is neither good nor bad. It is simply change. Example, getting a promotion is a good change for you, but losing your job is a bad change. However, looking more broadly, losing your job might open up a new opportunity, a new, more suitable path that you had never thought of before. So, is that change really bad? Recognizing this ceaseless dance of change in all aspects of life is the first step for us to learn to accept and adapt to it more gently. Part 2. Dancing with the Waves. The meaning and benefits of understanding change. After having recognized the presence of this ceaseless dance, perhaps the next question will be, so, what meaning and benefits does understanding that everything is always changing bring to us in our daily lives? Why is it so important? The answer is a deep awareness and understanding of this law of everything is always changing brings countless positive values, helping us live a more meaningful, peaceful, and much freer life. Helping us gradually let go of unnecessary clinging and attachments. The key to lightness. One of the main sources of our unhappiness and unease is clinging, attaching to what we have, what we love, and wishing for them to last forever, never changing. We cling to wealth, material possessions, fame, status, beauty, youth, relationships, and even to our own ideas and opinions. When we truly understand that all these things are constantly changing, can be lost, we will gradually learn to loosen that attachment. We can still appreciate, still enjoy what we have, but no longer be overly dependent on them, no longer feel desperate, utterly pained when they are gone or no longer as they were. Example, you have a very beautiful car that you love dearly. If you are too attached to it, every time it gets a small scratch, or when it starts to get old, you will feel very uncomfortable, annoyed. But if you understand that the car, like everything else, will wear out over time, You will take good care of it, but also accept its natural changes more gently. When it truly breaks down and can no longer be used, you will be sad, but not to the point of collapse. Or in a romantic relationship, if you are too attached to your partner, wishing for them to always be by your side, always love you as in the beginning, you will very easily feel insecure, jealous, and pained when their feelings change, even if naturally, or when the relationship cannot continue. But if you understand that feelings are also a flow, sometimes passionate, sometimes calm, and all relationships can change, you will know how to cherish the happy moments together, but also be mentally prepared to face changes more calmly. This letting go doesn't mean indifference or irresponsibility, but a liberation from unnecessary burdens created by our own attachments. It brings a feeling of lightness, of serenity to the soul, encouraging us to live each moment fully, cherishing the priceless present. When we realize the finiteness of life, the fragility of everything, we will have a stronger motivation to cherish each present moment, to live more meaningfully, to do good things while we still have the chance. We will no longer procrastinate on important things, no longer waste time on futile matters, knowing that time waits for no one, and opportunities may not come a second time. Example: you've always dreamed of traveling to a certain land, but keep putting it off, thinking later, when I have more money, more time. But when you truly understand that life is impermanent, health can change, circumstances can fluctuate, you will be motivated to plan and make that trip sooner, while you still can. We will learn to enjoy the small, simple joys in daily life, instead of constantly chasing big goals in the distant future and forgetting the happiness that is present right before our eyes. Example: instead of just focusing on making a lot of money to enjoy it in old age, you will learn to balance, spend time on warm family meals, meaningful conversations with loved ones, relaxing afternoons reading books or listening to music. You realize that happiness is not a destination in the future, but a journey, and it is present in every moment. We will dare to live more authentically, dare to pursue passions, dare to express affection for those we love, knowing that this life is too short to live in regret. Promoting a spirit of continuous learning, training, and self-improvement. The constant change of life is also a reminder that we cannot stand still. If we don't actively learn, don't train to adapt, we will easily fall behind, be eliminated. Understanding that yesterday's knowledge and skills may no longer be relevant today, we will be motivated to continuously learn new things, update information, and enhance our abilities. Example: in the field of information technology, things change very quickly. A programmer who doesn't constantly learn new programming languages, new technologies, will find it very difficult to survive and develop in the industry. Understanding that old habits and ways of thinking may no longer be effective, we will be willing to change, willing to try new approaches to solve problems and achieve goals. It is also the motivation for us to strive to cultivate good qualities, necessary life skills, like what we discussed in the 8 Golden Keys. To be more steadfast in the face of life's changes, and to find peace from within, instead of depending on ever-changing external factors, helping us shatter illusions of an unchanging self, the gateway to true freedom. As mentioned, one of the deep-seated reasons for unhappiness is our attachment to a self that seems fixed, unchanging. When we truly understand that this self is just an aggregation of many ever-changing elements, that no independent and eternal ego exists, we will gradually free ourselves from the bondage of that self. We will have fewer egoistic reactions, less hurt when someone says something unpleasant about us, understanding that the us they are referring to is also just a concept, an attribution. We will have less comparison, less competition with others, understanding that each self is unique and in its own process of movement and change. We will have less fear of loss, of changes to ourselves, like old age, illness, understanding that it is an inevitable part of the flow of life, and our true essence is not limited by these temporary factors. This is an immense liberation, bringing true inner freedom, when we are no longer troubled by the small, selfish, and demanding ego. You see, understanding the law of everything is always changing doesn't carry any negative or pessimistic meaning at all. On the contrary, it is a healing medicine, a powerful source of inspiration for us to live a fuller, more meaningful, and more peaceful life. It helps us learn to dance gracefully and skillfully with the waves, the ups and downs of life, instead of trying to resist them fruitlessly. Part 3. How to befriend change. Practical suggestions. After understanding the characteristics and meaning of the law, everything is always changing. Perhaps the most practical question we need to ask is, so how can we truly befriend change? How can we effectively apply this understanding to our daily lives? This is not something that can be done overnight. It requires practice, contemplation, and a shift in our perspective. Here are a few suggestions you can try. Practice mindfulness of the present. As in key number 7, when we truly pay attention to what is happening in the present moment, we will easily recognize the subtle changes occurring around us and even within us. Observe your breath. Feel each inhalation, each exhalation. Every breath is different. No two breaths are exactly alike. That is change. Observe emotions and thoughts. When an emotion or thought arises, just observe it come and go, without judgment, without clinging. You will see they are also like clouds, constantly changing shape and drifting by. Observe the world around you. Spend time truly looking at a flower, a tree, a river, or simply the changing light throughout a day. You will see the constant movement of all things. Contemplate change in your own life and the lives of those around you. Spend time reflecting on the major changes that have occurred in your life, from childhood until now, relationships that have come and gone, jobs that have changed, successes and failures you've experienced. This helps you see that change is an integral part of the journey of life, and you have overcome many changes to be where you are today. Also, observe the lives of those around you. Everyone has ups and downs, fluctuations. No life is a straight line. Learn to let go of rigid expectations. We often suffer because reality doesn't unfold according to our expectations. Practice setting more flexible goals and prepare yourself mentally for different possible outcomes. Instead of thinking everything must happen in way A, try thinking, I hope things happen in way A, but I am also ready to accept it if it happens in way B or C. Develop adaptability and flexibility. In an ever-changing world, adaptability is a crucial survival skill. Be ready to learn new things, change old habits if necessary, and seek creative solutions when facing unexpected situations. See every change, even an undesirable one, as an opportunity for you to learn, to grow, to discover your hidden potentials. Practice gratitude for what you have. When we appreciate and are grateful for what we have in the present, we will feel less afraid when facing change or loss in the future. Gratitude helps us find sufficiency even amidst fluctuations. Build a solid anchor from within. Instead of seeking stability from external factors that are always changing, like money, status, relationships, focus on building a solid foundation from within yourself that is understanding, calmness, compassion, and the ability to master your mind. This is the safest refuge that no storm of life can sweep away. And the 8 golden keys are excellent tools for you to build this anchor. Befriending change doesn't mean we become indifferent or passive towards life. It means we learn to accept reality as it is, so that we can act more wisely, proactively, and effectively, instead of wasting energy resisting or lamenting things that cannot be changed. It's like a surfer who cannot stop the waves, but can learn to skillfully ride their board on those waves, even enjoying the thrill of conquering them. So, we have explored quite deeply the law of everything is always changing, one of the fundamental truths of life. I hope that the sharings in this episode 6 have brought you new perspectives, and more importantly, practical suggestions for us to learn how to dance harmoniously and joyfully with this magical cycle of life. Remember, change is not an enemy. It can be a teacher, a companion, if we know how to listen and learn from it. When we stop resisting and start accepting, we will find a freedom, a lightness, and an inner strength that we never expected. Thank you for taking the time to listen. If you find this content valuable, please don't hesitate to like, share with your friends and family, and subscribe to the Unlocking Inner Peace channel so we can continue to journey together in exploring the secrets to a more meaningful and peaceful life. Wishing you a new week full of energy, knowing how to find beauty and interest even in changes, and always feeling steadfast and self-possessed amidst the ever-changing stream of life. See you in the next podcast episodes. Goodbye.